Ciao Leo, let's start with the win over Napoli. Everyone was watching Gonzalo Higuain and Paulo Dybala, but Simone Zaza was the match winner. Tell us about him.
I think Simone is a complete striker because he is skillful and powerful. He knows how to protect the ball. He's very good at making deep runs. But what I think makes him different from others is his desire and his determination every time he plays. He knows that if he wants to be an important player for this team, he has to play at his best. And on Saturday, that is exactly what he did as soon as he came on.
You know, you were the star of one of the main highlights. You were injured, but still stopped Higuain scoring. How did you manage it?
Yes, it was a vital intervention that then allowed us to go on and win the game. Because had that ball reached Higuain, he would definitely have scored, or at least created a dangerous situation. I tried with all my might to deflect that ball just enough to not let it reach him, and I managed that. I was also a little lucky.
2 weeks ahead of the match with Inter, not everyone knows that before becoming an important Juventus player, you were at Inter.
I don't want to pretend the past doesn't exist, because those 3 years at Inter, where I also made my Serie A debut, cannot be cancelled out, and they made me into the player I am today. However, I am settled at Juventus. Juve is my home. I don't think about a future at Inter, and the only thing that exists for me is Juve.
When you were younger, you were a talented midfielder. Now you are one of Italy's best central defenders. How did you make the change?
Yes, for many years I played as a central midfielder, and I think that is why now people consider me a defender with good feet, so I'm glad I played in the position. But I also have to thank the coach of the under-19s at Viterbese, who made me play in the back line as a central defender, because he said to me that if I wanted to go and have a career in football, that is where I had to play.
Se vuoi far carriera devi giocare difensore centrale.
When you were younger, did you have a number 10 shirt?
No, quella non me l'hanno mai data.
No, I never wore that number, probably because I would have got too big-headed. I always wore the number 5 or number 8. So I never wore the number 10. Then I switched to 19, and 1 and 9 does in fact make 10, so in the end I did end up wearing it.
You became a great player with Antonio Conte. How much do you owe your success to Conte?
Sono stato fortunato ad incontrarlo dopo un anno.
I was lucky that our paths crossed after an unlucky year at Juventus, where we had finished 7th. His arrival brought me success, but it mostly brought the club success, because he came in with a winning mentality and some real tactical awareness. Of course, I benefited from that because once we switched to a back 3, it brought the best out of my game, as well as the best out of other players. That was an important passage of my career, and I will always be grateful for everything he taught me, on and off the pitch.
Sempre per quello che mi ha insegnato dentro e soprattutto fuori dal campo.
Which Juventus teammates have you learned most from?
Sono stato fortunato perché alla fine
I have been lucky because I have played alongside some world-class players, from Buffon to Pirlo or Tevez, Barzagli and Chiellini, and you always try to copy and learn something from everyone. However, the player I like to watch the most on the pitch is Barzagli, because he plays in my position, and I always try to steal something from his game. One-on-one, he is unbeatable. He is physically so strong, and it's incredible how in training and in a game, he always manages to do everything at 100%. On the pitch, I think he's a real example for everyone.
Credo che Andrea sia un esempio da seguire per tutti.
Let's start about this season. After a difficult start for Juventus, you have gone on a long winning run. What was the turning point?
La svolta è stata la partita con.
The turning point was the game against Sassuolo, because during the break and also after the match, there were a few situations inside the changing room that sent a bit of an emotional shock through everyone. And from then on, we went back to being the real Juventus.
La vera Juventus.
It's a great achievement for Massimiliano Allegri too. What is special about him?
Secondo me è una persona.
I think he's a very intelligent person because he knows how to manage a group. He knows when rules need to be respected or when you can have more of a laugh, and that has given us peace of mind. It keeps us calm and makes us want to stay together. That is his secret, as well as being an excellent coach, tactically speaking.
Bravissimo allenatore a livello tattico.
You gave a ball with a special message to a child after Juventus-Bologna match. Are you a warrior with a kind heart? Tell us the story.
È stato una cosa fatta.
It was a spontaneous thing. I went there to give my shirt and I had a ball with me, and when I saw that boy, who was so happy to see me, I thought that a shirt can only be hung up, while with a ball you can really chase your dreams. That is what I did as a kid to get to where I am now. There is a child in all of us, whether they are footballers, actors or presenters on TV. Every person in the world has to remember that there is a child inside of us that wants to just have fun.
C'è un bambino che si deve divertire.
And now, Leo, can you tell us a funny or interesting story from your time at Juventus?
La cosa più divertente è stata.
The most amusing thing was the spontaneous goal celebration with Arturo Vidal in Florence after he scored, because a few days earlier the media had reported that we had come to blows in a club, but that was completely false, and so without even rehearsing it, we pretended to punch each other, and then we gave each other a big hug. I think that was the most enjoyable one, also because it was completely spontaneous.
Il momento più divertente perché è stato anche quello più spontaneo.
Thanks for joining us on Total Italian Football, Leonardo Bonucci, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Grazie a te, Laura, saluto a tutti e crepi il lupo.
And now it's time for the best saves.